It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for who's excited for Charlotte to be a 15-time champion?
Okay, before we get really into that, I do want to say the reaction on Monday was holy shit excessive. But, I mean, what did you expect?
Okay. So people were crapping on Jay winning the Rumble, which I think that was quickly dispelled on Monday because he's over as shit.
Oh, absolutely.
But the thing is, that same underdog mentality doesn't apply to somebody who's a 14-time champion already. Listen, I'm going to get right into the Greg Sherry, Matty Laws, by the way, in case you didn't know. But why does Charlotte always have to be around a championship all the time? I don't think Charlotte has the ability to have a convincing feud that doesn't involve a championship. I am no longer convinced that is possible.
Dude, and that's the major complaint. That's apparently the Undertaker's revving up outside. But that's the main complaint. If they would have done anything else with Charlotte other than winning the Rumble, I can almost guarantee you she probably would have come back to cheers.
Yeah.
But
I think if she would have been like second or third place in the Rumble or something.
If she would have been the runner-up to put over Roxanne was the last person she eliminated. Yeah. If she would have put over Roxanne, that would have been insane. Yeah. Not only for Charlotte's character, but it would have been an NXT person coming up to the Rumble and winning in their debut.
So the fact that she started off Raw with I missed you guys, it's meant so much to me. I couldn't compete for the last year or whatever. That's not going to fly.
No, the audience did not
cut that kind of promo. Charlotte Flair is not one of them. Listen, I've said it before. Charlotte is an incredibly talented athlete. She's a good wrestler. I've said all of this. You don't have to shove her down our throats the second she comes back. The last time she came right back, she won the championship that night.
Hey, at least they're waiting 3 months.
That's not the point, though. It's like Charlotte. I don't understand. I feel like this is part of the reason that Mercedes left.
It's probably one of them. I'm not gonna lie.
And it's why she's killing it in AEW. And anybody who's like, oh, she's an overrated wrestler. Fuck you. No, she's not. She is getting the recognition and the time to be champion that she should have had in WWE if Charlotte Flair didn't exist.
To be fair, yeah, because Sasha, I think, only has 100 total days as champion or something like that.
It's
maybe,
not
maybe a little bit more because all of her reigns are short, and most of them have given right back to Charlotte. That weird period in what was it, 2016? Whenever they were both there, where it was pay-per-view.
The series of matches. The series of matches that they had were a great series of matches.
Incredible.
I don't know if the flip-flop 3 times back and forth was necessary.
That is a perfect example of something that did not need the title attached to it.
I mean, that at least made sense because Charlotte was only on the main roster for a year at that point. So it hadn't gotten to the point of, okay, this is all we see from Charlotte.
No, but it was the easiest way to cover up stat padding right away.
Yeah. But I think we noticed pretty quickly. Mind you, that was 9 years ago that they started stat padding her. The fact that they are still doing it 9 years later in her first match back in over a year Yeah, I don't say this very often. This might be the only time you hear me say this. I agree with Cleveland.
I forgot they were in Cleveland.
Yeah, they were in Cleveland. So I get it. Okay. I get why they were upset that Charlotte won the Rumble again. She's the first person to win the Rumble twice, as if she needed another accolade.
Dude, it's, you know for a fact that the reason they're doing all of this is to give her the over of her father, so that way they could probably retire her. Because, look, if she's getting those kind of reactions now, like that was nuclear, and you could tell that Charlotte was not into it. That can like severely derail someone's self-esteem. Like I don't know if Charlotte wants to do this no more.
Get her to 17 and then tell her to fuck off. Like at this point, like just get her there. And then once she hits it, you don't need her anymore. You beat her father, great, fantastic, wonderful. Get her out.
Enjoy retirement.
Because at this point, I'm over Charlotte. And somebody may clip this and be like, oh, look at this internet nerd voicing his displeasure about how Charlotte's booked. I said she's a great athlete. I said she's a good wrestler. I hate her booking. I hate it. It's my opinion.
That's the thing, was this is a complete snafu on the booking part, because you could have used Charlotte's return. You guys built it up so much that it felt like it was guaranteed that she was going to win.
Yeah.
You could have totally had her be the runner-up and put someone else over.
Mm-hmm. You could have given that moment to somebody who could have used it. Charlotte, again, as a 14-time champion, did not need that moment. She didn't. You notice in the men's Rumble, John Cena didn't take that moment. He was the runner-up to Jey Uso. And Jey got a wild reaction on Monday.
Now, do you think that they did the John Cena, Jey Usos switch because of the reaction to Charlotte at the Rumble? Because I have a very strong feeling that it was going to be Cena and Charlotte both winning, but they saw the reaction to Charlotte winning.
I don't feel like they would have switched it up like that. I feel like they would have had Jey Uso go over regardless. So I don't think there was a last-minute switch for Cena to be like, hey, no, put Jey over. I feel like that was already in the plans.
Okay.
I still don't. And I know there are Charlotte fans out there, and like Dave LaGreca is one of them. I saw like him like, Charlotte's the GOAT, Charlotte's the GOAT. It's like, here's the thing. I would like to believe that Charlotte Flair could be the greatest of all time. But she is constantly shoved down our throats. It's like, you don't have to do that with her, but they do it anyway.
Yeah, she did not need the Rumble win. There's about 5 other women on the roster right now that could have benefited from the Rumble win.
Let me put it this way. The most excited I've ever been about a Charlotte Flair potential feud, believe it or not, her and Lacey Evans when Ric Flair was involved. I was actually interested. Listen, I'm not kidding. I was actually interested in that potential feud because it didn't involve a championship. I then later heard Lacey Evans was supposed to be champion so they could feud at Mania, so then it would have been over a title, and then I would have thrown it away because it's like, of course, Charlotte has to have a title involved. Give me one Charlotte feud that does not involve a championship, does not involve a championship shot, does not involve anything related to number one contendership status. Give me one of those. One 3-month feud where she does not go anywhere near a title. Give me that. I dare you. I am calling you out, WWE. You can't do it. You can't do it.
They can't do it now. I can give you one that happened.
They've had 10 years. It's never happened.
I can give you one. Natalya. I don't know if it lasted 3 months, but I think it was like her first feud on the main roster.
But she was champion.
I think she was NXT champion, maybe still.
Again, still champion.
But yeah, if she could do something away from the title picture, that would be great. My worry was that she was going to come back, lose the Rumble, and immediately get into a fucking mid-card title feud because, of course.
And like, maybe it's just sour grapes or something. Like, I'm just so sick of it. Like, I have zero interest in seeing Charlotte Flair in a championship match at WrestleMania. 2024, where there was no Charlotte whatsoever, I thought was a fantastic year for the women's division.
It was. Because it wasn't focusing on 2 women.
No. You had a brand new star made in Tiffany Stratton. You had Chelsea Green coming up. You had the women's Intercontinental title.
To be fair, one title was wrapped up between 2 women the entire year. But, at least SmackDown had good women product.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is,
Chelsea Green.
Like, Rhea and Liv is different because there was like deep story behind that didn't necessarily involve the championship in the first place. And then,
it didn't at first.
It didn't at first, but then it did, and I thought they had a fantastic match at SummerSlam. So
they did.
There's that. But Liv has had feuds that didn't involve the championship. Rhea's had feuds that didn't involve the championship. Charlotte hasn't.
Yeah.
There's been no long-term feud that Charlotte has had that did not involve the title in one way or another.
And I don't think there's going to be, honestly.
What makes it worse?
I really don't think there will be.
Thinking back to that Lacey Evans storyline, she was tag champion. She was tag champion during that feud.
Who did she win? Who did she win those belts with?
Asuka.
That's right. Also, Charlotte being the one to beat Asuka's streak is still something that shouldn't have happened.
Again, something that she didn't. And then right after that, she got Money in the Bank cashed in on her, like 5 days later. So you end Asuka's streak and then have Charlotte lose the Money in the Bank cash in.
Has Charlotte won Money in the Bank yet?
No. Don't put that into the universe.
That's the one thing she hasn't done yet.
No, yeah, Money in the Bank. Let's give her a guaranteed championship match, as if she hasn't had an
Oh, dear God. Greg, she won the Rumble. That'll be 15. Wins Money in the Bank. That makes 16.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's like I said, get her to 17 and tell her to fuck off. I don't care. I don't care about Charlotte Flair. I don't. Like, there's no interest from me to see her in the ring, always in the championship.
And I'm not going to lie, that start to the Rumble, like, the match itself was fantastic. It was well paced out. The women killed it. Charlotte winning at the end really soured it. But what did you think of the rest of the card going into the tag team match?
Hold on. Before you do that, Brian, thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
Roxanne should have won, and he's slightly salty because he had Roxanne in the raffle. So, yeah, I forget who I had in the women's. I had Michin in the women's, so I knew that wasn't happening.
Hey, I would have been very happy for Roxanne to win. Again, I just wanted someone new. I wanted a fresh face to win. Plus, if we would have got Roxanne versus Tiffany or Roxanne versus Rhea for the title, dude, that would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Gotta keep the same energy about John Cena, though. Here's the thing. John Cena, yes, has been in a lot of championship matches, but he has had feuds that didn't involve the title.
Yes, but he's also been wrestling for like 20 years.
Yeah, he's been on the main roster. He's got a lot
more time to not have championship on him.
Yeah, he's been 2002 is when John Cena started. So it's been 23 years that we've seen John Cena. So, and he's won 16 world titles in that time. Charlotte has 14 in half the time.
And if you do look at like Cena's like later title wins, they had pretty good story behind them, especially the him winning the title off of AJ Styles.
But he only had it.
But there was a very long period where he did fall into that Charlotte category of he was always in the title picture. He was winning Royal Rumbles. So Rhea definitely carried the women's division, but there's also a couple other females that, shined.
Liv carried the women's division in 2024. Her, Bayley, Tiffany, Chelsea. I'll say Nia Jax. Nia Jax have been fantastic since she's come back. Like, Nia's been an absolute, like, on another level since she's come back. So I'll throw Nia in there. Hey.
Bro, when she came back, dog water in the Rumble.
She got 9 eliminations, man. Like, what do you want?
Yes, just so that way they didn't take the fucking heavy boost towards Charlotte early.
Say Cena wasn't always in the title picture since 2004. Okay, so 2005, 2006, 2007, 08, yes. 2009, yes, because he was champion. 2010,
wasn't that when he took the belt off of Rey Mysterio for no reason?
2011, he did that. That was annoying. 2012, he was not champion at all. He was in the title picture, but he was not champion at all in 2012.
2013 was the Rock thing, so
2013 he beat the Rock for the title and then lost it to Bryan.
2014 was Mania 30.
2014 he won the Money in the Bank. He won the title at Money in the Bank and then got his ass kicked by Lesnar. 2015 he was U.S. champion.
That's a title.
That's a title. 2016
AJ Styles.
That wasn't until later in the year, though. 2017, he took the title off of AJ. That was his 16th. And then after that, it's just been kind of sporadic appearances. So
yeah, because Beamish got a point. It is damn near every year since 2004.
I did hate Sandow's catching. I hated Sandow's catching because like he never recovered. Like, yeah, he had the whole.
He had wheels for that too.
He had the whole stunt double thing, which saved him for a little bit, but that killed him for a good year.
Dude, it really just killed his character as a whole. It made him fall into that gimmicky stunt double, which led to him having imposter syndrome and doing all those other gimmicks.
Yeah.
He basically became the 2010s Charlie Haas.
Brian Doyle says, the fact is you strip away all of her title reigns and her famous name, she has no defining characteristics. She's one-dimensional. Charlotte needs the title more than the title needs her. It's the truth. Also, Standout's briefcase looked like it was made out of chocolate. It probably would have been more valuable as chocolate than what he did when he cashed it in.
I really liked the full leather briefcase. I thought that shit was hilarious. I was also a kid whenever that happened. That shows how long ago that was.
Mm-hmm. It just bugs me to absolutely no end that I have this opinion of I don't want to have this opinion of Charlotte. I want to believe that she is as good as people say she is. I don't think she's the best women's wrestler of all time. Everybody knows that. Anybody who's followed me knows what my opinion is. So, fight a tree. I don't care. But I can't get behind Charlotte as the greatest of all time when that's all she does is have the championship around her in some capacity. I can't do it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Sorry, I was having connection issues on my side.
No, you're good.
All right.
Yes, that is the case. I am the conductor of the Monet train. Maddie, if you're on a delay, then you might want to go back in or go out and come back in. So, and here's the thing: I don't say Cena's the GOAT. I don't think Cena's the greatest of all time. He's again with that same logic. I don't think he's the greatest of all time. He's done a lot of things, but he has the accolades too. But I don't think Cena's the greatest of all time. That they put that nickname on him.
No, my greatest of all time is Kurt Angle, but
yeah, you gotta love me some Kurt Angle. Because Kurt Angle with the TNA titles, he's pretty close to up there. He's got what 12, I think.
Does he really have that many TNA titles?
Well, with WWE he had 5 or 6, and with TNA he had 6. And I think he had a New Japan
reign. I think he had one New Japan reign.
Yeah, I think he had one New Japan IWGP title. So, yeah.
Title reign.
So yeah, but I get the Charlotte and Cena comparisons, but again, it's I believe it or not, I bitched about the same thing when Cena was champion all the time. I don't care for the same people being involved in the title scene year after year after year after year after year. Because you figured,
get boring.
I was a big fan. I'm a big fan of Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. You figure from 20, he didn't hold a championship from, let's see, she was 3-time champion. He won her 4th title in 2018. So he was nowhere near a title in 2017, held a title for, or wait, no, 2017 was the SummerSlam she beat Bliss. So in 2017, she was champion for 8 days and then didn't hold another championship until 2020. I mean, she was tag champion, but like a singles title. But again, the tag title reign only lasted a month. So from 2019 to 2020.
Did their tag title reign, her and Bayley?
Yeah. Their first title reign lasted a month because they won it at the Chamber and then they lost it at WrestleMania. But they lost it to the Iconics. And Bayley actually took the fall. So
I do remember that at least.
Yeah.
All right. Going through the rest of that card, the Machine Guns versus the DIY.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I felt like it was a really short 2 out of 3 falls match.
It was a pretty quick 2 out of 3 falls match. It's I'm sure it was also tough to get the crowd it's tough to cool down from like a Rumble. I think you need like a segment or something in there, like a backstage segment somewhere along the line to kill time between matches, because the Rumble people are on a high, people are hyped because, the Women's Rumble happened and whatever. But it was pretty short. It's good to see the Street Profits getting back into the title picture. I like the Street Profits. I've always been a fan of them for Ford and Dawkins. I hope that leads to like a triple threat. I don't want to say a ladder match because I feel like ladder matches are a little bit overdone.
What about a TLC?
Again, same thing. I feel like ladder matches are just TLC matches are just ladder matches with 2 extra objects.
Yeah.
So
I do like that the Profits came out at the end and jumped both teams.
Yeah.
I thought that them screwing over the Machine Guns at first was them just, saying screw it, but then attacking DIY afterwards as well.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that because I was worried that they were going to get lost in the shuffle.
And I'm glad they're not. I'm hoping that this leads to the Profits, maybe as heels, becoming champions that way, because they haven't been champions for a long time.
No. And they've kind of, weren't they teasing going heel with when Bobby Lashley was there? And then never really made anything out of it.
And then they stayed babyface, which I think hindered their momentum a little. Like I'm all for heel Street Profits. Like I don't think that's a moment that's talked about enough.
They were heel in NXT, weren't they?
No, not really. They were pretty over baby faces. I mean, maybe they were heel to begin with, but I'm pretty sure that
they got over really quick.
Yeah. Dwayne is saying DIY versus Profits versus the Guns versus Pretty Deadly at Mania.
That would be that.
That would be cool. Maybe like Jordan Grace has been teasing Ultimate X at WrestleMania.
Oh, that would be so fun.
DIY, the Profits, the Guns, and Pretty Deadly in an Ultimate X match for the tag team titles. Sign me the fuck up.
That would be. But didn't one of the Pretty Deadly boys just have a shoulder injury recently?
Maybe, but they've been on TV recently, so like.
They have been wrestling a lot more recently, so his shoulder should be fine.
Yeah, so they'll be fine.
By the way, Kurt is a 13-time world champion between WWE.
I thought it was either 12 or 13.
Yeah, which is fucking mental. He's won 21 titles in his career.
Yeah, because he held the WWE, WWE, the world title. He was TNA champion, and he was like TNA champion, X Division champion, tag team champion, I think IWGP champion all at the same time.
Yeah, he was a one-time IWGP World Heavyweight.
Yep.
And if you want to count his Olympic gold medal and his NCAA championship.
Yeah, but NCAA is more national championship than it is world championship. But if you want to count his gold medal, that is a world championship.
Now, Greg, my co-host Cap said that the end of Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, he felt that it was a little bit of a showing of Cody turning heel, especially standing over Kevin Owens' dead corpse and raising both titles at the end of the match.
Nasty.
That whole match had nasty bumps.
I don't know if it's necessarily a Cody heel turn, which Cody does
not
great work.
Necessarily a turn, but like showings, like a beginning of,
I feel like after Cody loses the title, like there's a possibility of him eventually down the road going heel, but I don't know. I think I like the progression. I'm hoping that it's Owens and Zayn at WrestleMania.
I think that's what's going to happen, and I'm so looking forward to that match.
Because, like, they wrestled each other at WrestleMania 37, but it was Sammy as the heel and Owens as the face. So now they're going to a little more natural role because Owens is a better heel and Sammy's a better babyface.
Mm.
So I think that's the road they're going. I don't know. I'd like a championship involved, but I don't think that's going to happen because, like, even if it was like the Intercontinental title, I think it'd be cool to have a championship on the line in that. But
they would have to get a lot of pieces moving really fast in order for it to be over the IC title.
Yeah, because you'd have to have like Breakker lose to Owens or something at the Chamber,
which could still happen, but I don't think that's what's happening.
It could happen. There's so many moving pieces for WrestleMania. It's like, okay, where is everybody going to fit in? You know?
Mm-hmm. Because I see Breakker going over to SmackDown eventually, or no, the Bloodline are on Raw, right? Just because that interaction, you don't have Braun and Roman interact like that if you're not going to have a storyline coming sometime soon.
That's a post-Mania thing. I think
it's definitely post-Mania.
Yeah. Because it's looking like Seth, Punk, and Roman are going to have some kind of collision course somewhere.
That would be a fun triple threat at Mania.
And that's stomped to the back of Roman's head at the Rumble. Holy shit.
The fucking Mario double stomp?
Yeah, the fucking Goomba stomp on the Reigns. Like, shit.
And then just immediately starts throwing hands with Punk.
Yeah.
That was a fun spot. The men's Rumble was really fun, I think.
It was fun. Again, I haven't gone back for my second watch to rank them. I'm hoping to do that sometime in the next week or so. But I don't know where they're going to rank. The Women's Rumble, I'm going to tell you guys right now, is going to rank lower than last year's. Because I thought last year's Women's Rumble was spectacular. Not a big a fan with this year's as I was last year's.
Mm.
But it might also be skewed due to recency bias. But I had no recency bias with 2022. Those Rumbles sucked ass.
And I was there live for them. The only bias I had was live bias.
Yeah, dude, those Rumbles were bad.
Oh, yeah.
But like after Roman's death, that show sucked.
When the UFC takes over. I hated it.
No, it was not great. But yeah, Jey Uso won number 20, and he's the first person to win from number 20. So that's one first more number. I had a feeling. Because like they were down to like the last. It was either just down to Jay and Cena or Logan Paul was still there. They flashed the graphic saying nobody had won from these certain entrants. I was like, is Jay winning? Because Cena was 23 and Orton's won from 23 before. And obviously people have won from 30. So it's like, is Jay winning this? You wouldn't put the graphic up there for no reason. So I kind of had a feeling Jay was going to win at that point. But
yeah, the ending spot was awesome. I think they played that out perfectly.
Yeah. I think they did too. And good for Jay. I hope he does cash in his WrestleMania moment and win the title from Gunther. Because that's got to be the road they go.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to hit the main event spot, but as you and I have said, the Rumble main event has not been a thing for a while.
Yeah, it's specifically a championship match. It does not guarantee the main event. Something else to be noted. At the press conference, Cena didn't take any questions and basically said, I'm going to be in the Elimination Chamber to get my 17th title. That, to me, the way he said those things gave an inkling that he's not full-fledged babyface.
Dude, if we get heel Cena in this final run, I'm going to flip out.
I think that if he loses the chamber, that there's more of a possibility. If he wins, he's still going to be the same Cena. But if he loses the chamber, I feel like there's a possibility of him like kind of like Shawn Michaels was when he was trying to get his WrestleMania rematch with The Undertaker, that he just becomes obsessed with getting his 17th championship. And he just takes it out on everybody around him.
Yeah. I can totally see that because I think what the rumor is it's going to be Cody versus Cena at Mania.
That's the rumor. I don't know if that's the case,
but if it is, it would fit if it was a heel Cena.
I mean, it would. Like one of them would have to be one of them would have to be at least a tweener.
Heel-ish.
Down since day heel-ish. But yeah, I don't know who it would be. Like I would think it might be Cena. But again, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, are we close enough to start doing real WrestleMania predictions, you think, or nah?
I think it's too early because we don't know how the chamber's going to go. We don't know who's in the chamber. Like we know a couple people. We know Punk and Cena are in the chamber. We know Liv's in the chamber. That's it, though.
So is the chamber just going to be for the Raw title, or?
Well, I'm guessing that Charlotte is probably going to declare who she faces soon enough, and so will Jay. Like Jay will probably say he wants Gunther. Charlotte will probably say she wants Tiffany Stratton, and then the chamber will be for the championship match for the other title.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. It doesn't always happen when it makes sense.
That's very true. So, that being said, hey, I forgot to throw this up at the beginning of the show, but who cares? Super Bowl.
I don't want to.
I know you don't want. Listen, after that Chiefs-Bills game, I didn't want to either. Okay? The fact that the NFL had to come out with a statement that said, hey, we don't favor the Chiefs. Did you see that shit?
I didn't see the statement. I thought it was actual. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a joke.
No, I think they came out with an actual statement that said, hey, we don't favor the Chiefs. Here's my problem with the NFL. The NFL makes the referees untouchable. You can't criticize the referees in press conferences. You can't call them out on commentary even. You can't say bad things about the officials because the officials are always right. We know for a fact that that's not the case. They are flawed. We need to call them out on their flaws. Otherwise, they'll just do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's a difference between calling them just straight up biased and people going, hey, you guys are fucking up on a broad spectrum.
Like, do you remember the NBA betting, like referees betting scandal from years ago?
That was what, like 4 or 5 years ago?
I think it was longer ago than that. But the fact that NBA referees were caught betting on the games that they were officiating. It's like, it feels like there's something shady going on with this. That it's like, you guys can't tell me that you're not calling games a certain way when every 50-50 call goes one team's way. Every single one of them.
Oh, yeah. And again, looking at that Buffalo game, throwing the flag right at the end of the game.
Josh Allen got that first down.
Catch wasn't made. And then they pick up the flag. And even commentary, I think it was Tony Romo on the call, was like, well, they threw the flag, and for some reason they went and picked it back up again.
Yeah.
Like, dude. Even Dean Blandino, a former NFL referee chief, senior NFL official, his brother called his own brother out and was like, you guys are rigging the games. There's no way these aren't rigged. And that's an NFL referee's brother.
Yeah. And that's bad because, like, you see this stuff and it's like, oh, I figure the NFL is doing this simply because they have Taylor Swift involved. And it's like, hey, we will get more viewers if we have Taylor Swift on the screen somehow. Granted, it is a smart ploy to have that for people who don't normally watch football. Like, I'll give them that. But, like, it's becoming Charlotte Flair-esque for the Chiefs.
And it's not because of the market, bro. Nobody's trying to market a small little area like Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's Kansas City, Missouri, but
well, I mean,
Kansas City, those motherfuckers can be part of Kansas for all I care.
Isn't Kansas City like right on the border of the states, though?
So, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. I think it's like that town in Tennessee and Kentucky, where it's split between the border.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those situations.
Gotcha. So either way, really.
Yeah.
But it's maddening to see that happen. And it's like Josh Allen got that first down. I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, the Bills had one chance. You know me. I'm the biggest hater, and they had one chance to prove me wrong. Josh Allen gonna get this hate forever.
I don't know if this one's fair, though, to give him that hate.
I don't give a shit. They had one chance to stop the three-peat.
Now it's in the Eagles' hands.
Exactly. And then the Eagles may forever be in my favor.
I mean, otherwise, the Eagles were in my favor for a little bit after they beat the Patriots in 51, which was a game I didn't watch because, listen, I'm probably going to watch this game, but if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again next year, I'm straight up not watching. Because it's just like the Patriots. I am not watching the same team year in and year out be in the championship match. Again, it's Charlotte Flair-esque.
I'm using the excuse that I'm watching it for the Kendrick Lamar performance.
I'm not even watching it for that. I might be watching it for the commercials. And for the hope that maybe the Eagles will win their second one.
It'd be nice.
If the Chiefs win this one, they're going to win 7. They're going to pass Pittsburgh and New England. They're going to do it.
And Mahomes is going to probably have more rings than Brady by the end of it.
Patrick Mahomes has never played in the season where he didn't, at the very least, make the AFC Championship.
Oh, yeah. Which is insane. It's an insane stat. It really is. Regardless of if the NFL is rigged or not. That's a ridiculous stat.
Like that never happened with Brady.
Yeah, no, even he got bumped out in the conference or the divisional round or even in the wild card.
Yeah. To play 8 straight years and make the conference championship game every single time is insane.
And as a Broncos fan, fuck, I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate the Chiefs. God, I hate them. And if anything, I think only one fan base is rooting for the Chiefs more than Kansas City fans. And that would be the New York Football Giant fan base.
Yeah.
They don't want Saquon to get this.
Well, the New York Giants need to become – they have been the absolute most embarrassing team in the NFL. And that's hard to do when the Raiders exist.
Dude, Cleveland's still there. I don't know. Cleveland's still there.
I mean, Cleveland has kind of held that down for 25 years now. But
they've got a devil of a contract staring at them still.
Well, it depends, because if they can get out of it because good old Deshaun Watson just decided to tear his Achilles again.
In recovery. That's it couldn't have happened to a better person.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen to Justin Tucker.
Bro, what was your reaction when you saw that?
I'm just like, dude, is there anybody that's a good person?
It's like, really hard to come by.
Why can't people treat women like they're normal human beings? They're not sex slaves. Let's stop this.
Why can't men just be normal human beings?
I don't know. Listen, I'm not a normal human being, but I don't go jack off on a masseuse. Like, come on.
I can't even afford a masseuse, goddammit.
That's not the point.
I know it's not the point. I'm just saying. My back hurts.
But come on, like, if you just watch porn at home if you're that hard up.
Bro, I know I saw this on Twitter. There was a guy like, what was it, last year, that posted a picture of him and was like, no accusations, no problems, just business. And then he retweeted it whenever that article came out. And he's like, wow, this aged like fine milk on the pavement.
Mm-hmm. I don't get it. Like, what possesses somebody to do that? Listen, if it was consensual, do whatever you want. But the fact that multiple people have said it wasn't makes you fucked up.
Yeah, it means you're a bad person.
Imagine if your wife heard that out of context. Well, thankfully, she's not home.
So, Greg, what is your prediction for this Sunday's game?
For the record, I'm also not that hard up. So, okay. Anyway, what were you saying?
What is your prediction for this Sunday's game?
I think Eagles 38, Chiefs 28.
I was going to go 38-35 for the Eagles.
I don't think it's going to be that close.
But I also have Saquon running for like 150 plus yards and 2 touchdowns.
So I put out a parlay. I only put like $2 toward it. If it hits, I get like $300.
Hey.
It was just certain people on the team scoring touchdown.
Yeah,
I have a Mahomes rush touchdown in there, which that might screw everything up.
No, I can almost 100% envision that, Greg. It's the biggest game of the year, and that boy is going to run at least 5 times on Sunday.
So I have that. I have a few receiving touchdowns. I think I have Saquon getting at least 2. But
that's a smart one too. But I also have him getting 2, so maybe we both put a double jinx out there. And you know what they say, 2 negatives make a positive, right? You put one negative up, and then you put the other. Like, exactly.
Eric, will Tomlin stay? Probably.
That's a yes from me.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The Steelers organization they've become very Pirates-esque. They have no desire to do anything other than sell tickets and say, hey, we made the playoffs this year, which granted the Pirates don't make the playoffs, another story. But it's like, hey, look at these non-losing seasons. Hey, look at this championship trophy this championship trophy case that hasn't changed since 2011.
And as you're stroking it, you see dust coming off of it.
Yeah, it's very dusty. 2009, I was trying to say. They went to the Super Bowl in 2011. They just didn't win. But it's like, hey, look at this. Look at this fancy Super Bowl trophy. Yeah. Very dusty, if you will.
Dusty, if you will.
Look at this Super Bowl trophy. Talking about the Fall Popsman.
We're just both optimistic that it's not Kansas City winning.
Which is very much optimism. But this Eagles team is insane. They put up 50-plus points on the Commanders.
I believe it was
dog-walked the Lions the week before. So
I believe it was 55 points, which is not only the most points scored in an NFC conference championship game, but it's the most points scored in any NFL conference championship game to date.
I think it's pretty close to the most points scored in the postseason.
I could look that up as well.
It might be tied because I think the 49ers beat the Bengals 55-10 in a Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that happened. So, yeah, I think the Eagles are going to score a lot of points on the Chiefs, and they're going to kind of have to. They're going to have to because
this one doesn't.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
This one doesn't technically count because it was so far ago. It was 73 points by the Bears. So give me Give me a second.
I guess in the Super Bowl era is what I'm asking.
Looking. See. There's so many games, so this might be we find out after the fact.
Yeah.
But I will get you that answer later.
I think 55 has got to be up there at least.
It's definitely up there because I want to say there was a 63 point scored in a Super Bowl, but I'm not sure. Super Bowl history.
Like I said, I think that 55-10 Super Bowl victory by the 49ers is definitely up there.
But yeah, 55 points to score in a playoff game. Mind you, this is the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. All right. 55-10 was San Francisco beating the shit out of Denver.
I was wrong. In 1995, the Eagles beat the Lions 58-37.
58-37.
Yeah.
And that was a playoff game, you said?
And that's actually not the highest scoring. The highest scoring happened in 2000. You will never guess the team that did it.
The most points scored in a playoff game?
By one team.
In what year you said?
2000.
Oh, son of a bitch. Was that it's not the Jaguars. It's not the year the Jaguars made the playoffs. How many points did they score?
They beat Dan Marino in his final game 62-7.
Was Mark Burnell their fucking quarterback at the time?
It doesn't say in here, but I think Burnell would have been the quarterback around that time. Because he was early 2000s quarterback with the Jags.
Oh, yeah, he was. Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was the year the Jags were the number one seed in the AFC. But they ended up losing to the Titans in the AFC title game.
Yeah, and then we got one of the most infamous Super Bowl moments of all time.
Yep. 1 yard short.
1 yard short. A moment that haunts Tennessee fans to this day.
Yep. But there you go. And unfortunately, the list of 50-point scorers in playoff history in the Super Bowl era, I guess I should say. 59. Well, no, that wasn't Super Bowl era. 58 is the second highest in the Super Bowl era. 56 by the Raiders in 1969. And then the Eagles in the NFC Championship. And like I said, the 49ers and the Broncos. I thought it was the 49ers and Bengals. Is that not?
No, it was 49ers Broncos. It was 1988, and they beat the shit out of them 55-10. I think that was Elway's first Super Bowl.
Why did I think it was the Bengals? I could have sworn the 49ers beat the Bengals by a shit ton.
I think they beat them by a shit ton. Let me go check.
Bengals,
Super Bowl history.
49ers, Super Bowl. 20-16. That doesn't sound right. I thought it was way like, huh. Okay.
Yeah, but Denver's got a history. Denver's got a knack for just letting teams put up absurd numbers on them.
I guess.
I hate it. I hate it so much, Greg.
Well, I mean, what, you guys were the recipient of that 70-20 beatdown by the Dolphins, or
Still one of the worst performances I have ever seen put forward on defense.
You guys
And
almost
we
gave
had
up the
our-
most points in a game in history.
Dude, we were 3 points away from tying. All they needed to do was kick a field goal, and Mike McDaniels was like, you know what? I used to be a ball boy for these guys. I'll let them slide this time.
But
He
anyway,
could have easily scored another touchdown on us.
I think we're going to end the show there. It's a couple minutes early, but it's okay. So, guys, enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy watching SmackDown, which I enjoy watching Dynamite also in a couple
Enjoy
minutes.
watching whatever you watch.
Yeah, enjoy, whatever you're watching, go enjoy it. Have fun. Don't be a jag.
Touch some grass.
Don't be a sex creep either.
Please, for the love of God, be a decent person.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not hard.
It's not. Be a normal person. Treat women like normal human beings. How about that? I'd make a shirt, but I don't want to profit off it.
Believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes, believe in Joe Hendry, please. If nothing else, believe in Joe Hendry. Entry number 15 in the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble.
My favorite number.
Go. All right, so until next week, Maddie, thank you very much for joining.
Of course.
Everybody watching, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for the super chat, Brian Doyle. And we appreciate you. Don't be a jag, and we'll see you next week on the Greg Cherry Show.
Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated.
And go Eagles, I guess. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fuck Casey.
Something. End street. There you go. I know how to do that.